We are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Meal Prep Sundays with the DFAM. I am Margot Drake. We have Steve Drake, birthday Steve, in the house, and our baby Teddy Drake.
Hi guys.
And today it is all about Thanksgiving. So let's prep more, stress less, and get some Thanksgiving meal prep done ahead of time.
Stress less.
Stress less. So Teddy has also given us a free gift. Do you want to talk about it?
The free gift?
Free gift.
Was the free gift earlier? I'm not.
Well, the free gift, if you're tuning in live and you would like some of the
Is it
recipes.
what we're hearing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you'd like some of the recipes, go to www.dfam.life, L-I-F-E, and you'll immediately get the recipes and the gift in your inbox. So tell them what it is.
It's a playlist of just 8 hours of Christmas music that I study to, which is really nice. But it's nice to just block out noise and there's no talking or anything, so you can focus.
It's called a Cozy Christmas Jazz, something about a coffee shop. It's a very long title, but it's good. It's good. All right. Steve is not wearing his DFAM t-shirt today because it is his birthday. And
I chose not to.
And he has a new birthday gift he wanted to wear. So, and he's actually going to kick us off with his
Where are our
turkey
oven mitts?
Silly, they're right here.
Oh, this is what happens when, this is totally what happens when Teddy comes home from school. She is like Dory,
She makes
the
up
fish.
where stuff goes. All right, so I'm doing the turkey. You guys, I love the traditional holiday turkey meal with all of the fixings and all of the sides. And literally when Margot and I got married, the first Thanksgiving that we had together, I went out and found like a 25-pound turkey just to make it. My dad that was his thing, to make the big turkey dinner. And it was a full day of work and doing everything he needed to do. And I've done it forever. So I'm totally down with the tradition. However, last year, I decided, we live in a smaller place. We just have to be more contemplative about where things go. And a funny side story is when all those years that my dad did all that turkey making, we never had a place to keep the turkey, like post turkey dinner. So we would go outside and put it inside the grill, cover it up with tinfoil, and it would go in the grill, and it was cold out there. And then we want to make a turkey sandwich. We'd bring it inside and cut some meat off of it, make a sandwich, and then take it back outside. And at some point, if it snowed, the turkey might freeze. Anyway, I decided last Thanksgiving that I'm just going to make a little turkey breast. It's exactly what we needed for dinner. You can get a few sandwiches after the fact, and that's really, literally why I love Thanksgiving meal. I love Thanksgiving time for everything. But those turkey sandwiches are like, that's what I need. And if you do a breast, you can get several sandwiches out of it. So that's what I'm doing. That's like my simple tip this year. And to the point that if you get the recipe through the email or from Margot, the recipe is follow the instructions on the turkey package. So I did, my go-to turkey breast is from Jenny O. Here, put this up next to the food cam. I love it because you can take it out of the freezer, put it in the oven, and it bastes itself. It's just really good. However, right now with the COVID situation, there's a run on turkey breasts. So if you have not gone out and done your Thanksgiving shopping and you do want to do like a smaller meal because of the smaller group, go out now and find whatever turkey breast you can. So I made it earlier this week in our test kitchen, which is this kitchen, but we call it the test kitchen.
And it's on Tuesday.
And it's on Tuesday. I did it with the Jenny O, and it went perfectly. And then I went back to find another one, all gone, totally gone.
So get to the grocery store, and if you want to do this, get your chicken.
So I grabbed another one, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go back and pull that out of the oven and do the thing to it, and then I'll come and show you guys what I ended up with. And I'm going to let Margot, what's next?
Cranberries.
Oh, cranberries?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to get
I'll be right back.
I'm going to get the cranberries going. But first, I want to just explain to any new viewers that are watching, we are the Drake family, AKA DFAM, a family, 4 families. We decided to all come together. We each have gifts. Everybody has a gift to share. If you are alive and on this planet, you are all here for a reason. You have a gift to share. And we just decided a couple of years ago to come together as a family and use our gifts to uplift and inspire other families. And we all have different gifts. So I've slowly been introducing everybody via email to all of our subscribers. And we haven't even gotten to the gift part yet. But we all decided our first project was going to be to come together as a family, meal prep, because it is healthier and also it is more cost effective to be able to plan your meals ahead of time and be really smart that way. And also it will save you money. So, well, it's going to be cost effective and save you money. And so with that being said, each one of us has come up with a financial goal with a due date, because a goal is a dream with a due date and a plan. And so each one of us has come up with a due date and a dollar amount. And every single week in our emails that go out with our recipes, we are staying accountable to all of you and each other by giving a percent to goal. So Teddy, do you want to explain what you're saving up for?
I'm saving up for rent because that is very necessary for me to not live here.
So even though she could live here and go to school remotely, she wants to be independent, which I think is great.
Yeah.
I didn't like the tone that you said
There's
that
no
with.
tone.
There was a tone.
Nothing. And I'm at 2% to go, so yay me.
Go, go, go. And Steve and I have paid off all non-mortgage debt. So, and we have 6 months to a year of savings. And so our next goal is to be able to pay off our mortgage. So that is our goal. We're giving ourselves 4 years to do it, not 30. And we are 0.99% to goal, which is a huge increase over the previous week, which was 0.026 or something. So, and the whole reason we're doing that is to show you guys and to like, just be open and vulnerable and show you that success and achieving a goal there's no windfalls. It's all teeny tiny little baby steps forward. And so going from 0.026 to 0.99, it killed me to not hit that 1%. Teddy is at 2%, Stevie is at 2%. And again, all of our dollar amounts are different. All of our incomes are also different. And our due dates are different. So Stevie's at 2%, Teddy's at 2%. They are currently in the lead. Steve and I are at 0.99%, and Ellie is still at 0%. She is in the...
She's trying her best.
Well, she is in the... this is real. And that's what we want to be, is very real and open and talk about these things. Ellie is in the hospitality industry, and you know how that has been impacted by our quarantine and COVID. So she's doing her best to get her feet under her, finish her last year at U of M while she is saving for her first, I believe what she called it, and Teddy, or Ellie, if you're watching, comment below. She is saving for her first down payment on an apartment.
I thought she called it an adult apartment.
She did. She called it a real, an adult apartment. So she's going to be graduating this spring from the University of Michigan, and she's already getting, thinking ahead and making sure that she has deposit money down and maybe some money to buy some cool furniture or something, start her life out. So that's it. We encourage you to do the same thing. Pick an end date, pick a goal, put a date on it, and keep chipping away. And meal prepping, planning ahead is so calming. I can't stress that enough. I call it meal prep and chill. And of course, all of my kids roll their eyes at me. They laugh and roll their eyes. And meal prep and chill, because the anxiety comes down, the stress comes down, and when you're prepping in ahead of the game. In fact, Teddy and Ellie said as they were eating mashed potatoes and cranberries 2 days ago, oh my gosh, we're already eating Thanksgiving leftovers, and Thanksgiving hasn't even happened yet. So we're ahead of the game. All right, Steve, do you want to talk about turkey? Or do you want
I'll come back to turkey.
Okay, so I am going to move forward onto our cranberries. So, you guys, this is so good. Can you talk about this?
The cranberries?
Kids-
This is your thing.
I know.
Oh, I love to put it on mashed potatoes. That's pretty much what I put it on mostly. But I've always loved this the most at Thanksgiving dinner. It's one of my favorite things. It's just so good.
Fresh.
Sugary, so I like it.
Fresh cranberries. The cranberries are very tart, so you need to put a little sugar in there. And I think it's cool to use fresh cranberries. One of the things that we always like to do, if you've been tuning in live, is clean as we go so we don't have a big mess in the end. You can also follow me on Instagram, my stories, and also on TikTok. I'll be giving like some step-by-step videos of how this goes because, you know, when we're meal prepping, you might miss a step. You might want to see exactly what's happening. So that's what's going to be on TikTok. Also, ideas on how to use some of our recipes in different ways will be on TikTok. Instagram is anecdotal, updates on our financial goals, and also behind the scenes and bloopers. So stay tuned to my stories there. And I'm Margot Drake on Instagram. And the spelling's right on the screen, MARGHUX.
What's your TikTok?
And TikTok is Margot Drake also. So super easy and consistent to find. So I pre-wash these cranberries, and it's 2 bags. They are in the produce department, of course. These are organic cranberries. And 2 bags washed, ready to go. 1 1/4 cup of raw turbinado sugar. So we're gonna put that right on top. And then 2 tablespoons, 2 Granny Smith apples, medium sized and diced. So this is where I need your help. You
Wesley, come here.
cut those.
We don't have an apple.
No, I don't know. We moved and we sold everything. So this is actually one of the jobs that the kids helped us with, not with a sharp knife. We actually had, and we also are encouraging families to get their kids in the kitchen, do things that are age appropriate with them. So one of the things that the kids did was we had this apple corer and peeler. Remember that?
Yes.
It would suction cup to the counter. They would stick the apple on it, and then they would twist it, and it would core it. Oh my gosh! Yes, I thought we got rid of it. Okay, so you do that.
I'm using this.
Yes.
We're just gonna push this over right there.
Okay, so you do that, and I will finish this one. You guys, they're really tart.
This is for garnish.
The kids loved doing this, and as you can see, like as far as this recipe is concerned, this was always my least favorite part of the recipe was peeling and dicing an apple. So when they handed me an apple like this, it was like mom bliss. Check this out. Wait, we need the food cam. Stop. We need the food cam. I didn't know we still had this. I am so happy.
I do it fast.
All right, go.
All right.
Sorry. Oh, it's all on the floor. But
That's
Nice.
right. So no, we don't need that part.
Yeah, it's fun.
So check that out. Look at that.
Oh.
So that is done. And if I had another apple, I would have Teddy cut it. But can you get rid of this? Because I have to put this back.
All right, Ted, I need your help with the food can.
What?
I'm gonna cut the turkey.
Oh.
So let me move this aside, and I'll show everyone what this bad boy looks like. So seriously, I mean, it's not for a massive family, but it's awesome. Does that look good?
You gave the shakiest person to
Well, don't shake. Lay off the
Easy.
caffeine, you know? So I was given this
Oh.
by Teddy one year.
For Christmas.
And when we left our big house, we sold just about everything. And Margot just explained that. But I kept this thing. My Aunt Jean always had one of these. And it was just how she did everything. All right, let's dig into this thing. I'm going to go from this side.
And this thing. I'm so happy you kept
Here
this.
we go.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. That was curved.
Looks so good. that look good? There, turkey. I'm telling you, get easy with the turkey and do the turkey breast.
Do I put it back up?
Yep, that's it. Voila. And you guys can get back to your thing.
So one of the fun things about having a test kitchen and testing all these recipes before we actually make them for you, just to make sure that everything is correct before we give it to you, is that we have really good food to share. And one of the things that I have wanted to do consistently, but I haven't been organized and systemized about it, is to be able to meal prep and bring some things to my mom. I've done it, here and there, but not anything consistently. So another benefit to meal prep and having to test the recipes ahead of time to take pictures and things is that I will be able to bring some good food to my mom on a more regular basis. Safely, yes, of course. And also, she is joining live, I think. So,
She is.
Is she?
Yeah.
So, Grandma, if you're there, let people know what you thought of the recipe.
As long as it's good.
As long
you
as
can say
it's
whatever
good.
you want. As
So
long as it's good.
We were able to drop that off on Friday, and she kept calling me, giving me updates that she's, I think, on her third Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, Thanksgiving time is going to roll around next Thursday, or this Thursday, and she's going to want a pizza or something. Okay. There, I'm done with that. Okay, that was like my big thing for this episode, was that turkey.
Okay, can I get some help chopping? You guys,
What's
the way that you cut. So the way that I normally, if you don't have one of those fancy, I don't know what that thing is called, old fashioned. Well, I take the skin off.
Oh, you take the skin
You have
off?
to take the skin off.
Oh.
That's the problem. So what I usually do when the kids aren't in the kitchen helping me with this is I cut it in fours, and then I pare the skin off the outside, and then I slice each quadrant. The other thing is if you have an apple core, just the kind that you push down, that's another thing that the kids probably can do safely, depending on their age. And then again, mom or dad can take a paring knife and
What?
this is
What? Can you not use that?
no,
No, it's perfect.
so this is
Esther, you got to get out of here. Come on.
Should I not-
it goes much faster when you cut it in bigger chunks so you can get the skin
We're
off.
having fun though.
We are having fun.
Not enough
That's
time. We're having
awesome.
fun. We're having a ball.
So you guys let us know in the chat. I've got it up over there. You can see it. Let us know in the chat if you can hear Teddy's vibes in the background, or
So quiet.
if we should turn it up a little bit. So we're just dicing these, and you can't see because we've got our hands over. And Teddy is using some kind of a spoon scooper maneuver, which I've never seen before, but she does make things simple. So when we get to her recipes, you're gonna see how simple things can be in the kitchen when Teddy is in the kitchen. So you and Cosette, your roommate,
Yeah.
you guys meal prep, right?
We do. No, we don't meal prep. We do meals that like are sent to us that we can make really easily. But
That's
I
nice.
meal prep for the nights because we get about 3. So I meal prep for like the other 2 nights during the week.
What kind are they?
What kind of what?
What kind of meals are they?
They're all
What
different.
brand?
It's HelloFresh. We do HelloFresh.
HelloFresh, that's right.
Yeah. But we've made really good meals. Some are bad, some are good, and we mess it up every time. But it's part of the fun. That's okay.
And I think Cosette is watching live.
Cosette and her dad are watching.
Oh, get out.
awesome.
All right.
Are they making it with us?
No, they're in the car.
Oh.
Oh, they're driving. Oh.
Be careful, you guys. Ellie said it was snowing in, where are they?
Ohio.
They're sneaking into New York, like through the back door.
Yeah,
It's
maybe we
pure
should.
illegal what they're doing.
Oh, stop.
So,
You're gonna get in legal trouble right
I'm
now.
gonna get a text from somebody.
yeah, that's right.
Dude, stop it.
So Ellie texted us. She was here for Steve's birthday, went back to Ann Arbor, and she said it was snowing like crazy in Ann Arbor.
Your mom said the same thing. She asked
It's
us.
snowing.
Okay, so you guys, this definitely, the apple cutting goes much faster when you are a little more systemized with it. So sorry about that, but All right, so we've got our apples. The next thing that we are doing is 2 tablespoons of ginger root grated. So, right here. Okay, this is ginger root. Where's the food cam?
Food cam.
I can. All right, this is ginger root. If you have never seen it before, it smells absolutely amazing. And the way that I do it is I eyeball it. Again, baking is a science. We're going to get to that next and the screw-ups that we had this week. But cooking is an art. So I just kind of eyeball it. And this is a microplane zester.
Be careful.
And Steve and I were, yeah, you definitely want to be careful because you can zest.
Don't want to be careful.
And actually, you know what? That's a really good point. So if you do screw up, you're not screwing everything up.
You're cooking a whole batch of nails and blood.
And
Yeah.
my mom can attest to that when I had a little food processor accident when I was younger.
Why would your mom let you use a food processor?
Well, I was old enough to use it, just not smart enough to use the what is it called? The safest
Safeguard.
safety. Yeah. So
Uh-oh. Food cam just went off.
okay, well you can use my backup.
No, it's
charger.
on.
It's over
Oh,
there.
it's on?
No, I don't. Yeah.
So, okay. So, all right. So there's 2 tablespoons. This is another tip, is that you have to, when you're using your knife as a bench scraper, you want to use the back side of the knife because you do not want to cut yourself, and you also don't want to dull the blade of the knife. So you use the back side and scrape it in. So that is 2 tablespoons of ginger. Now, can you grab the red wine? We have a cup and 1 cup of red wine. Whoops. Thank you. This Dark Horse is a really good, Stevie told us about that. Stevie is 23, so he told us about this, if you want to show it. 1 cup of red wine goes in here. And it's a really economical brand. It's a blend, right?
It's cheap. It's really ridiculous cheap.
So
the story with Dark Horse, side note, is the people from Ernest and Julio Gallo, who we all know as the big jug people, humongous company, but they've got all these resources for really good grape growers, and they wanted to have a very reasonably priced good bottle of wine. So I think they have 4 or 5 different variations of their wine. But they're like $8 or $9 a bottle, and they're very good. They're great to cook with, and they taste really good. So we tried it from Stevie, and it's one of those things that, you know what, it's pretty good.
Okay, so the last thing I did was 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar because cranberries are really, really tart, so you need the vinegar and the sugar in there to kind of mellow everything out. And then we had to do this because this is going to go, and we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to let it simmer. And if we can let them, well, we'll put it on we're putting it on our most powerful burner. And you're going to be amazed. Those cranberries just melt over time. So while this is simmering, Teddy's going to get the potatoes ready.
Gosh. I'm nervous. How am I supposed to live up to that?
So we'll keep looking at that.
Oh, I think
You're doing potatoes, Ted?
Yes.
How many potatoes are there? How many pounds?
That's about 5 pounds of potatoes.
That is
Thanks, Dad.
baloney, 5 pounds.
That's 5 pounds of potatoes.
That is not 5 pounds of
I
potatoes.
was forced to do 5 pounds of potatoes. Actually.
Whatever. All right.
We're not putting the water in yet.
we're not, because that is a tip.
Then it'll splash.
That is
Whatever you
a
want.
tip.
Apparently.
Oh, guess what
It's
oh,
nice.
you guys, I forgot, I went right over one of the ingredients. So I'm going to go over and juice while this is being brought to a boil. A half a cup of freshly squeezed orange juice, which is about 2 oranges. It depends on how big and how juicy they are. But again, cooking is an art. Baking is a science. No, if you saw the bloopers this week, you would know.
We gotta get those on water.
Okay.
So
Are
cut
you
them
gonna
in
watch me
small
cut them?
pieces.
Or you want
No, I'm telling you, it's gonna take 20 minutes for those to boil.
going as fast as I can.
Be so careful, Teddy.
But go fast.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go fast.
So these are already washed, and
Should this be on high?
yes, that should be on high. And we just need to keep stirring it. So Steve's gonna keep stirring the cranberry sauce, cranberry ginger sauce, and I'm gonna juice this into it. So I hope you guys try these recipes, and please, if you do try it, please let us see pictures of you making it. Let us see pictures of you and your family enjoying it. Make sure you use the hashtag DFAM meal prep. There'll be 2 M's next to each other, because I want to give you a shout out on social media, and it's so fun to see your versions of what we make. I have to run the disposal a second.
These are pre-washed also, so nobody come at me. I guess.
You say nobody come at me.
Nobody come at me.
Wow.
I have
What
to
kind of
People,
friends do you think you have?
the scary ones.
Nobody come at me.
Do you want to ham this?
How many? Like how much juice?
Just juice all 4 of these.
Okay.
Can I pick the food cam up and bring it?
Yeah. If you want.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, I'm in charge of this. Let's see what I do. All right. I'm gonna come at you from the other angle. You can actually see. There we go. So squeezing it with one hand, using the fork as a lever, is just a great way to juice. Probably best to use if you want to be super careful, a strainer, just to make sure that there are no seeds.
Probably best to do it off the heat too. I'm losing hair on my arms right now. You can't hear me.
All right.
They can't hear me.
Okay, last one.
All right, there we go. Is this supposed to be backwards or forwards?
Just like that.
Just like this guy. All right.
Yeah.
Slippery little potato. All right, so Steve's keeping the cranberries simmering. Turkey is done. Teddy is getting the potatoes ready to go, being super careful while she's chopping. Nobody come at her.
No, it's like, well, I washed the potatoes.
Oh.
They're clean.
Oh, and one of the things that we wrote in the recipe was to peel the potatoes. And
No.
one of the things that Teddy definitely, keeping
Yeah,
things
yeah,
simple,
yeah.
that's her,
Suggestion.
that's her theme, is you don't taste the skins anyway. They're golden potatoes. The skins are very light, and
Everything's washed.
everything's washed and clean and organic. So throw it in, and it makes the job a lot easier and less stressful for you.
I'm gonna put a couple dirty things away.
Okay. So, and while Teddy is finishing the potatoes, I am going to. Oh, I don't think there's any room for me to bring this over. What did you do with the orange pieces? Okay,
You?
I need them to zest.
No problem.
Everything's fine.
I put them on a rack in here.
So we have to zest some orange and toast some pecans in the meantime. So.
Done.
Done.
All right.
Cover them with water.
All right.
So we're gonna salt the water as well.
Oh, you do?
We're gonna salt the water.
So are we using
We'll use this one.
purified?
No.
Hey,
No.
Use that and use hot water.
Okay.
Just to help the process.
I thought this was my recipe, huh? Crazy.
All right. So one of the tips that Steve had, go ahead, when he was making Teddy's recipe earlier this week,
What was it?
not to throw the potatoes in the
Why
water.
would I throw the potatoes in the water?
Splashes
Oh, right
everywhere.
here.
Okay, so put the potatoes in first, no water, then put the water on top. Otherwise, you end up splashing water all over your kitchen. So
Right.
again, just another way to make it simple for you guys.
I'm not gonna cover them.
So
Put that on there. So here,
That sounds good.
Cleaning up a little bit, we can take care of
what does Cosette say? You guys are
the oranges and the nuts that are gonna go on top of the cranberries. The oranges and nuts are a garnish that go on top of the cranberries. I think you should get the food cam over on the cranberries because
Maybe we should.
Teddy, food cam.
food cam because you can see how they're boiling down. It's incredible. Very cool. People
Can
don't.
these burn? Can you burn them?
Yeah, you can burn them.
But don't burn them.
How can you burn them?
I don't know. Give them too much heat.
Well, they get stuck all over the side of the pan, but they're nowhere close to being burnt. They have to cook longer.
Okay.
Okay.
Good job.
So, and is the oven on for the
Yeah, 375.
375? Perfect. Okay. So your potatoes are all set.
We're done.
All right. So now, if you can get the cleanest cookie sheet
What
with
is
the
this silk
cleanest
hat
silk
one?
hat out.
I think it's the top.
We're moving on to the olive herb biscuits, you guys. These are so
Oh,
good.
you need the food processor, don't you?
No, I'm just gonna do it by hand.
What is this? Just water?
It's just water. Okay. So you guys, look at this. We have so much done. We just have to do 2 more recipes and finish the ones that we've already started. And we've only been 31 minutes with a little bit of talking. We
He's done.
need that. We need to zest them.
Zest.
Okay. So
Said you're gonna cut
let's
onions
get.
too for your onions.
Oh, yeah.
We are
I
gonna
gotta cut
put
onions.
this over here.
Where are they?
Green onions are in the produce section.
There's a lot of heat over here, guys.
It's really, really
Why did we put that
Smells-
over there?
It smells good in here. This is so pretty. Oh, you can't see it. There.
I won't cut these yet.
Okay.
I hope you see for 10 minutes.
I want to make sure you guys can see everything. All right. So this is everything that we need for the biscuits. I am telling you guys, they are simple and they are so good and they could be made so many different ways as long as you have the base recipe down. So the first thing is half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes, rehydrated in water and drained. So one of the things that I wanted to say about sun-dried tomatoes is make sure, and this water, by the way, could be used in another recipe that you were doing because it's like flavored seasoned water. Is that my mom?
Yes.
Turkey was delish twice and looking forward to a third and final meal, especially with the cranberries. So the recipe calls for a food processor, but I'm just gonna do this all by hand. Cosette is in the house. Hi, Drake fam. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to say about the sun-dried tomatoes is that you want to buy them without sulfates. Sulfite. So can you bring the food can over here? So you can see that we bought 2 different kinds here. I prefer to buy them without any sulfites in them. And that way they're going to be a little stiffer, a little harder until you rehydrate them. And they're also not going to be bright red. They're going to be a little brownish. So these are much more malleable, flexible, soft, and they're also bright red, which tells me that there are additives in there that I don't always want. So I like also buying them in, so this is the package that I really like. And I also like buying them dried, not in oil, because then you're not getting that extra fat. We're going to be having some good quality fats in a different way on Teddy's salad dressing, and we don't need them on the sun-dried tomatoes. So that's all.
Hey, food cam, come here. We'll get a cranberry update.
Cranberry update.
It's not rolling over. We're good.
All right.
So that's where we are.
All right. So this says you guys could really easily throw all of this in the food processor and pulse a couple of times, but that was one less piece of equipment we needed out, and sometimes I like just chopping things by hand and keeping it nice and quiet, and also the cleanup's a lot less. So you decide what you want to do. Teddy, can you get me a little bowl to put this in? So it is half a cup of things. half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes chopped. We're gonna do some olives. And these were rehydrated. I poured the water out because we have so much food in the refrigerator. Other than this, we don't need to do any more meal prep or food in any way. There, okay.
Be so careful.
So we have the sun-dried tomatoes all chopped, rehydrated and chopped. I tried to do some of the sun-dried tomatoes not rehydrated, just dry it in the food processor. I figured they would just chop right up, and either my blade in my food processor is not sharp, or it's not a good idea to have sun-dried tomatoes in there, because the sun-dried tomatoes didn't chop, but the olives did and the rosemary did. So then everything was chopped inconsistently. So that was kind of another reason. But if the sun-dried tomatoes are rehydrated, they will chop. So now I'm just doing the olives. These are so good. And they also store very well, these biscuits, in the freezer. So, you know, if you are gluten-free and maybe your family is not, I make these and then I make a big batch. You know, I eat them. Maybe some other people will enjoy them, but there's also maybe some other bread that they would eat. So then I just throw them in the freezer, and then I can have a really good biscuit anytime I want. What are you guys doing?
Just discussing.
We're trying to tell Teddy the recipe for her recipe.
We're
trying to
masterminding.
dictate my recipe. No, thank you.
So the mashed potato recipe calls for plant-based milk or dairy milk. And in our test recipe, we use plant-based milk. And in the recipe that we're doing today, we are using dairy milk. So I'm just taking this rosemary. Smells so good. Okay, you guys, it's 3:37, so we have to keep things moving along.
Come on, Teddy, keep up.
I'm watching water boil. That's all I can do.
So what'd you learn?
Making a whole Thanksgiving meal in an hour is a little challenging.
Is the turkey done?
Turkey's done.
Oh, the turkey's done.
Turkey's done.
That's the whole meal. That's everything.
So Teddy, maybe while I'm doing the chopping of this, you can do your salad dressing.
Oh, right now?
Maybe you can get your things
I'll
together
keep an
for
eye on
the
your
salad
potatoes, Ted, okay?
Do I get salad for the salad dressing?
Yeah, just make like
Maybe
a
I'll
little
just make mine.
salad.
Make a little lunch, whatever time.
Because isn't it like wonderfully easy?
It is wonderfully
That's
easy.
what I thought.
Little thing.
I know that's the hard part.
Good job, I'm setting you up back here for this.
Oh, it's
Sure.
so I brought my lettuce home from school.
You did, didn't
I
you?
did. I brought it home in my backpack. It's
Oh my
very
God.
important. I'm not wasting a thing in this house.
We are not. I love it.
Ooh, questionable.
Is it? If it's questionable, use ours.
No, oh my god, it's so good. Okay. Do I explain how I'm doing it?
Yeah. Well, first of all, explain the inspiration. I asked Teddy what she wanted to contribute to this, and this was what she said right off the bat because it was so simple.
Yeah, so we got this from HelloFresh, and I get really sick of salad dressings really easily, and I just wanted something really simple to put on there. So I do, where's my lemon?
Oh, right here.
Oh. So what I do is I sprinkle a little olive oil on there, just a little bit, right there. And then I have lemon juice, put on there, boom. Look at this. And a little salt and pepper, and that's it. Well, I like it salty and lemony. There's no pepper in here.
Oh, and explain why the grinder.
Oh, why the grinder?
Well, because
You can
they're
explain it to us.
yeah, they're anytime you freshly grind something, it's going to be more aromatic. It's going to taste better. It's going to smell better. So with pepper, the reason why you want to grind it is because these little pepper berries or peppercorns have essential oils in them, and so when you So when you are grinding it, they are fresh and they haven't dried. So when you are buying dry pepper, it's not going to be as flavorful as when you do it fresh.
And it's good. And it's good. If you could toss it, it'd be better, but we're not worried about that. It's not too bad, right?
It's really good. So one of the things that I think is fun, especially when you're having a family dinner, is making it interactive. So if you have a salt grinder and a pepper grinder on the table, or you could even just you could do it fresh and put it in little, depends on how fancy you want to get. Grind everything fresh and put it in little ram tins with a little wedge of lemon juice, and then maybe a really nice bottle of extra virgin olive oil. It's really high quality. Like this is more of like a utilitarian olive oil, still really good high quality, but we bought this for salads, cold pressed, early harvest extra virgin olive oil. It says exactly when it was harvested, best by date. So anyway, this would be like a perfect thing to use, and then people could DIY their own salad.
It's gonna hurt my teeth.
Okay, so can I have the food? Can you show this to the food camera?
Sure.
What's wrong with my potato?
They just need to be cooked a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, so this is the mixture of the olives and the herbs and the sun-dried tomato, ready to go and ready to be folded into the bread mixture. So, let me get started on the bread. We've got a little bit more than 15 minutes, so we've really got to hustle.
See, this is exactly like a turkey dinner, Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
Thanks for time.
So we are doing 1 package of Bob's Red Mill Homemade Wonderful Bread Mix. This is what I wanted to explain to you. This was another really hard thing. Can you hold this up to the camera? This was a hard thing to find for some reason this year. Usually I walk right into our grocery store and grab it, and I don't know if it's due to COVID, the quarantine, shipping, manufacturing, whatever. It was a little bit harder to find. We did have to go to a couple different grocery stores to find this. So go out quickly and grab this, or order it off of Amazon. I can put the Amazon link in here as soon as we're done. I bought a couple locally, and then I had 4 delivered the next day from Amazon. So anyway, Bob's Red Mill Homemade Wonderful Bread Mix is not the same as Bob's Red Mill All-Purpose Flour. If you guys caught my Instagram story this week, you saw that I tried to use this with a package of yeast, and it was a total disaster. So we do use this flour to make my cookies. Every Friday, Steve makes me white chocolate chip cookies, and this is what we use for that. It does not work in this recipe, or this is not the right yeast to use, whatever. But this combo did not work, so learn from my mistakes. And we are going to tear this open.
Okay.
This comes with a little package of yeast, so we are going to reserve this.
Cranberries are looking good.
Cranberries are boiling down. Did you give a cranberry update?
We
A
have.
while ago.
Okay. And you guys,
You think you're good to go,
this,
Phil?
the oven is preheated. We have the Silpat out. We did the sun-dried tomatoes, olives, and rosemary. Those are set aside. Place contents of the bread mix in a large bowl with salt and whisk to incorporate. So there is the contents. Can you throw that in the trash for me? So, and here is the salt.
You're good.
What?
You
All
you'll
right.
be good.
All right, and then we are going to make whisk to incorporate. I love using a silpat. We should probably add that to our DFAM faves. Want to show them? I love using a silpat because you don't really have to use any oil or anything. It just pops
Don't cut
right
pizza
up.
on them.
Do not cut pizza.
You can see where I cut the pizza.
And that silpat is no longer with us. All right, so the salt is incorporated into the flour. And then the next thing that we are going to do is, in a separate small bowl, mix the yeast packet that comes with the bread mix with warm milk and let stand for 5 minutes. So this is our warm plant-based milk. This happens to be unsweetened almond milk. So good. Jazzy is in the house. Hi, Jazzy. Thanks for joining us. I think, if I remember correctly, is Jazzy gluten-free?
She was gluten-free in high school for a while.
So,
I remember that.
Jazzy, if you are still gluten-free, you will absolutely love the potato recipe, the cranberry recipe. All of these recipes actually are gluten-free, including this biscuit recipe. So now I am opening this magic yeast packet, which for some reason is totally different than the other one, and that's why baking is a science. Because I made pancakes, basically. They were terrible. They tasted terrible. They looked terrible. So.
All right, we're gonna get a look at these. At
Cranberries.
Our cranberries. So they are getting very much saucy.
Saucy.
And how are your potatoes?
Hello.
How's your salad, mummies?
Hey, Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes for the yeast.
5 minutes.
We use her all the time for our shopping list and our timers when we're in the kitchen. It's nice because you don't have to touch anything. So we have to let that sit. While we're letting that sit, we are going to do to the bread mix in the large bowl, add ground flax seeds, oil, vinegar, and yeast. So I will get the other things all incorporated in here until this is done. So
I have a 3 minutes.
flax seeds. Okay, so one of the things about the flax seeds is having little kids run around the house. If you see the recipe, it says 3 tablespoons of flax seeds and 9 tablespoons of purified water. As a mom trying to make food and watch 3 kids not self-destruct, I could not count to 9 without losing track. So that's why the recipe just very simply tells you that the flax seeds plus the water equal 3/4 cup. So we're making it nice and easy for you. So you put the flax seed in a cup and then make the line go up to 3/4. There, you don't have to count to 9. Easy peasy. So one of the things, one of the things that you should be doing is before you incorporate it, the flax seeds and water make a paste, so you want to make sure it's incorporated before you put it into the flour mixture. So.
This is kind of the Margot show, right?
It really is.
Well, you guys, come.
I think you're almost good to go.
Yeah, we're almost done.
It looks like timing-wise, we're not going to have these out of the oven in time, so I prepped the
Perfect.
finished
Thank
goods.
This we did, this we did, we need this.
I'm going to remove this back because Teddy's going to need some space to
Do potatoes?
do
Yeah.
potatoes.
Okay. So now we have a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil and 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. So
So what do you need to blend this?
just a wooden spoon.
You got it right there. Todd, do you want to use this?
A 1/4 of a
Where
cup.
did this come from?
It's a 1/4 cup of EVOO.
Mitochondria.
And this
These are going to be perfect.
Are they?
way.
What, you can make them better?
And then 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Sorry, my recipes are a little more labor intensive than.
We're chatting over here.
I'm almost done. Okay, so now, how much time do we have left on the timer?
1:52.
All right. So I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup. In the meantime, I want Teddy to share her simple anytime beverage recipe that she makes because it's so good and I always forget about it.
Stop.
Well, and it's a great way to get more water into you during the day.
It's still hot water.
But sure.
Hot water with lemon.
Hot water
So
with
it's
lemon.
completely revolutionary.
So talk about how you have your water all set up next to your desk.
I just have a hot water heater in my room because I just like, instead of drinking like coffee or something while I'm studying, I'd just rather have hot water.
Right?
Yeah, a little electric one that like clicks on and off. And it's just really easy and good, and it warms me up when it's cold out and stuff like that.
So many times we end up drinking too much tea or too much coffee because we're just cold, or something with more calories like, you know, a latte or hot chocolate when those, maybe those things aren't serving you. The sugar and the extra fat, not necessarily good fat, the extra fat and the extra calories aren't serving you. You can have hot water and it helps you get more hot water in during the day. Okay, how much time on our timer?
34, 3, 2. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to start by just incorporating everything that I've already put in here into the bowl.
We're gonna put it after.
And the other thing I love about this recipe is it doesn't require a hand mixer. It doesn't require a big mixer. That's kind of why I wanted to hand chop everything.
No, I mean like slide it
And
There you go. Perfect.
and just use a wooden spoon to mix it.
You ready?
All right, Alexa off. Okay, so now we can pour our yeast mixture into here. A lot of the mixture is stuck around the outside of the bowl, so I'm getting that out. What's happening over there, you guys?
All right, we're starting to mash.
I think we need a food cam.
15 pounds of potatoes. Just a little. Just a little. Thanks. I don't like
Sugar, I think we need a food cam.
All right.
All right, you guys, we have 7 more minutes. We can get these dropped onto the silk hat.
These actually look really good.
For sure. We've got
These aren't too much.
Those are sassy potatoes.
They are.
we've got Teddy
Yeah, I'll get a
salad.
shot of your, like what this looks like.
All right, so you guys, you can see it's nice and firm. I can tell you when I did it the wrong way, it was like liquid. And then we are just going to add the herbs and sun-dried tomatoes and olives and incorporate everything. Look at how gorgeous that looks. And it's done when everything is all mixed together. And you can see it's starting to pull away from the sides of the, of the bowl.
So how big of a scoop? With
I use a soup.
biscuit?
I use a soup spoon. So
You just grab a soup spoon and grab a.
I use that. That's it.
Okay, we're going back to potatoes.
All right.
It's all relative.
Wow.
That big.
All right,
What
you
did I
guys.
just put in?
It's 3:54. We have 6 more minutes. I think we're gonna pull this off.
Okay, you gotta look at the camera and say what you're doing.
I just put what were they? Green onion whites into the mashed potatoes.
So why do you separate the whites from the greens?
I don't know. We're told to.
So
I'm
the
not
green is
impressed.
like a garnish kind of.
No, the green is garnish, yeah. And if you can put it on if you want, you can put it on if you don't want. But the whites make it taste a lot better.
Gives it flavor.
Oops.
Cool.
All right, coming back over here, we are gonna drop these guys, and then we just have to chop some pecans and zest some lemon or oranges. But that's all you do. Oh, you can also use a mini muffin.
So make muffins out
You
of
could
it?
use a mini muffin if you don't have a soap hat. You could always brush your cookie sheet or your baking sheet with oil. But I have this really great silicone mini muffin and muffin. Anytime you're doing gluten-free, it's best to keep it small just because it cooks better. Like I wouldn't use the big muffin container because it won't cook evenly. But the mini muffins would be perfect. And actually, when I screwed the recipe up the first time, I tried to fix it by using the mini muffin thing, and they definitely looked better.
How does that look?
Look at that.
Are they
That is
done?
gorgeous. They are done. Done. So in this recipe for the bread, makes about 2 dozen, so 24 little drop biscuits. And like I said, they freeze really nicely. You just take them out, let them go right back up to room temperature and defrost, and throw them in an oven for a few minutes to warm them up. I always like to eat my biscuits warm with either extra virgin olive oil or a little plant-based Smart Balance or Earth Balance. So
Tad,
look at that. Okay, you guys, it's 3:56. This is actually the fastest we've ever finished, but we're not completely done. I still have to chop.
I forgot. Literally the most important part.
Those are done. So did you guys see Teddy tasted some of the potatoes? You gotta taste things and make sure you're tasting it safely, like only use a spoon, taste, and then you wanna make sure you keep everybody healthy. All right, so we just have to mince some, where's the big knife? I need the big knife.
Right there.
We just have to.
So this is what the biscuits look like. You can see it on the food cam when they're done. So good. They're very dense.
Well, and the nice thing about the turkey and the biscuit recipe is they both are $3.75, right?
What do you mean?
They're both in at $3.75.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys, we make an absurd amount of cranberry sauce because we use it for so many different things. It's actually the one thing that the kids absolutely love.
Yes.
At Thanksgiving and Christmas when we have turkey dinner. And Margot's going to talk more about things that she uses it for other than turkey dinner. But, I mean, we put it in, vanilla smoothies. What else do we do with it?
We're not going to give everything away. You guys
put it
have
on
to,
sandwiches.
You guys have to check out Instagram this week. Instagram and TikTok. We're going to be giving a whole bunch of different ideas to use with not only the cranberries, but Ellie's got a Thanksgiving cocktail recipe coming. We've got just all for any recipe. I'll always be giving different ways that we use it during the week to keep it fresh, keep it interesting, and make the most out of what you've made. Just have lots of creative ideas on how to use it. So the last thing that we have to do, let's see. A big treat is Teddy's potatoes. That's from my mom.
That was good.
All right, so the last thing that we're gonna do, it is $3.59, is just zest some oranges. And actually, this is what I have found works best, is if you, for an orange especially, move the microplane zester, not the orange, because what you don't wanna do is go down too far into the pith of the orange. When it starts getting the pith.
P-I-T-H.
Because then it gets bitter. The pith is bitter. So that's zesting an orange. And we are actually going to keep all of this separate. So because we're going to be putting this into meal prep containers. We're going to be storing this. And I want to make sure that.
So then you just crumble some of this on top.
Yeah.
And then with that as a garnish,
yes.
But it also tastes, it adds to the taste, right?
Oh,
the orange.
Definitely. It makes it pretty. It adds to the flavor. It adds to the aroma. Also, another thing that is spelled out in the recipe is to toast these before, just throw them in a little fry pan, toast them up real quick. Be careful, nuts burn quick.
Constant
So you
turning.
have to keep your eye on them. And that will bring out the flavor in the nuts too. And just as an aside, I use nuts on, I use pecans because 2 of our family members are allergic to walnuts, but you could use walnuts if no one in your family is allergic, or leave the nuts out completely like I did for my mom because she cannot have nuts. So, and it's good to know your family's food tolerance, not tolerances. Food intolerances, food sensitivities, food preferences, so you can make sure you can customize it for them. So you guys, that's it. It is 4:01, and this is the fastest we've ever finished. We just have to get the biscuits and the...
Biscuits are back there. We'll cook those after the broadcast.
That's it.
So, I mean, the whole theme is food prep, you guys. And we really are looking at this for recipes that we're going to make throughout the week. We're probably not even going to eat this for dinner. We're going to package it up into little packages and have it for our lunches and other recipes for dinner for the week, and we're done. Right?
Yeah, I mean, and I cannot stress enough how much doing this meal prep for the last 3 weeks has had a calming effect on me. Even though Steve does most of the food and dinners and things, just knowing what's for dinner, knowing we don't have to stress about it or go to the store or, it's done. The work is done, basically. So for today's recipes, you guys, if you don't already have the email in your inbox, you can text family to 616-344-4401, 616-344-4401, or go to www.dfam.life. And we encourage you to either by yourself or with your family, come up with your own financial goal with an end date. I can't stress that enough. If you don't have a due date, you don't have a goal set, because you have to hold yourself accountable to that and then chunk it and just know that it's not going to happen overnight. Windfalls are very rare, and those small incremental steps forward are what it's all about. So did you guys want to add anything?
No, I want to thank Teddy for doing her part. That was fun. So how we do this, if you recall, we do Stevie, Ellie, Teddy, and then a guest. So we're working on a guest for next week.
Yeah, I was a guest in mine.
We'll see Teddy in 4 more weeks, right? Or something new.
So, and remember, there's a little gift from Teddy. If you already have the email that went out today has her little gift in there, some great holiday vibes for you. If you go to www.dfam.life and sign up for the email, it will magically appear in your inbox with the recipes and the free gift from Teddy. And then you can join us every single week for Meal Prep Sundays with the DFAM.
Oh my
Is
God.
that it? Oh, and thanks Stevie for letting Teddy borrow his shirt. And thank you, Abby Marr, for joining in. Thanks, Drakes. I'm most excited about the cranberry sauce and biscuit, as you should be, because they are
So good. All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Thanks for joining, you guys. Bye.